Welcome to Viewpoint on Ukraine Today, where we are joined by Leonid Polyakov, twice former Deputy Defence Minister of Ukraine and an advisor to multiple Ukrainian and international think tanks. Leonid, thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning.
So, on the 30th of September, we saw Russia start their airstrikes in Syria. Can you tell us, what does this mean for Ukraine?
For Ukraine, it means in the near term, probably positive development, as Russia is distracted from Ukraine proper. In the longer term, difficult to predict because at the moment Ukraine is not alone to deter Russian aggression, and Ukrainian allies become naturally busy in Syria as well. So it means they are distracted.
Ukrainians' allies were already busy in Syria before Russia's presence, sir.
But not to that extent.
Okay.
Their business was rather low profile, I would say, training pro-Western insurgency, anti-Assad, doing some episodic airstrikes. Right now they have to take into account Russian activity, spread of governmental pro-Assad forces against pro-Western rebels, development around Islamic states and Kurdish interests and Iranian interference and Turkish and Saudi Arabia, and we can go on those multiple interests, and at some point all of them will look at United States for mediation, as we have seen not only in the Middle East but also in former Yugoslavia, in Ukraine as well, and other places.
So you think for at least the meantime, the news that Russia's concentration is focused elsewhere is good news for Ukraine?
Of course, now they don't have enough capability to fight both in Ukraine and in Syria, and keep control over Abkhazia, South Ossetia, Tajikistan, Armenia, all those multiple places. They are so adventurously try to control. However, they just changed their strategy. Instead of trying to provoke combat engagements, they shifted emphasis to training sabotage units, multiple detachments. They in kind of upward type training process them and send one after another to Ukraine proper, just to
cause havoc.
Yeah, to cause chaos and undermine trust of population in Ukrainian authorities and other bad things.
So you think Russia will use these so-called sabotage groups, as you said, to cause confusion and disrupt across all of the country, or just predominantly in the east?
Of course, their intention is to do the better chaos they can. However, naturally, it is easier for them to hide in the areas which first closer to Russian border, and to temporarily occupy territories like in Crimea and some regions of Donetsk and Luhansk Oblast, where they can recruit locals. And these locals know terrain, know population. They can easier find safe quarters and other necessary operational necessities, if you will. So we see it more in Kharkiv, Odessa, Donetsk and Luhansk regions, where they very quickly cross the line of separation and mine territory. Every week we have accidents when the local population and our military and security personnel step on mines or other explosive devices, improvised and the military ones. Right now we are very busy with this phenomena. Both our security service, our agency on emergencies, and our foreign partners like OSCE, Red Cross and others.
So how should the Ukrainian armed forces prepare for this shift in tactics?
In two ways. In the way of training and in the way of rearmament. Our defense industry, opposite to previous years when it was mostly concentrated on export, now all our defense industry is concentrated on supplying what is necessary for our Ukrainian armed forces, which is natural, and our training grounds are very busy with rotating battalions undergoing training either just under Ukrainian control or as in the West with support of our allies.
Okay. So should the Ukrainian army or the Ukrainian defense ministry be investing in better preparing the military, providing them with new technologies and new equipment, or should they be waiting on their Western allies to provide them with support?
Certainly not to wait for any support, but actually both ways are appropriate here, because Ukraine has a rather strong military historical background, military culture, and our major commodity is our people. If we are successful in their training and equipping, we will be invincible. We managed to stop Russian aggression. We sustained losses, but inflicted unbearable losses on Russia as well. And they had to stop and agree to start negotiations.
So would you say this is one of the reasons for Russia starting to adhere by the Minsk agreement, because of the losses that they suffered?
Of course. First, their ambitions were destroyed. Instead of Novorossiya from Kharkiv to Odessa, they had to go, in fact, open with Russian military presence, and we managed to stop even Russian regular troops. We lost some part of our territory, but we could have lost much more, what they intended actually to do. And
sorry, would you say that Russia's Novorossiya regime, program, plan, whatever you want to call it, has failed?
At the moment, of course, yes. However, I would hesitate to give 100% guarantee that Putin and his Kremlin regime refused completely from this idea. I'm sure in the longer term, after they manage to reach their goals in Syria, they will be back with a new plan. That is why they so much wanted to have an aircraft base in Belarus. Mm-hmm. They continue this sabotage, undermining warfare in Ukraine. They concentrate their better organized proxies. Now actually 2 army corps in Donetsk and Luhansk region. They augment their contingent in Crimea and so on and so forth. The latest news, they rotated their troops in Transnistria as well. We have to remember about that.
Mm-hmm. So you think the Novorossiya could come back to the table in the coming months or years? In
different form, but certainly they keep that in mind, and they will continue to keep that until this regime is going off the stage.
Thank you very much for your time, Leonid. That is all we have time for.
You're welcome.
You have been watching Viewpoint on Ukraine Today, where we have been joined by Leonid Polyakov, twice former Deputy Defence Minister of Ukraine and an advisor to multiple international and Ukrainian think tanks. Thank you for watching.